In the mysterious mountains of Nagaland, there is talk of a magical flower capable of granting wishes to those who find it. However, it's also said that plucking this flower unleashes a deadly curse. This is the story of a young woman who, unknowingly, brought death and chaos to her village by touching what should never have been touched. A warning for those who seek the impossible without understanding the consequences. Today, we will tell you the legend of a young woman who found a magical flower in the heart of a forbidden forest. With the promise of granting any wish, she decided to pluck it, but by doing so, she unleashed a curse that put her entire village in danger. A story of ambition, regret, and the consequences of defying the unknown. In Naga culture, nature is sacred, and many legends revolve around the protective spirits that dwell in the forests. Among these stories, one of the most feared is that of the flower of death. It is said that this flower blooms only once every 100 years in the darkest part of the forest and holds the power to grant wishes. However, those who pluck it soon discover the deadly price it demands. This legend has been passed down for generations as a warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition. The story follows Ania, a curious and brave young woman who lived in a small village near the forest. Since childhood, she had heard the warnings about the flower of death, but her desire to help her family and village, which were suffering from a relentless drought, led her to defy the boundaries. One day, in her quest for a solution, she ventured into the forbidden forest, guided by rumors of a magical flower that could save them. When she found it, glowing in the gloom of the forest, Ania decided to pluck it to wish for her people's salvation. But in that moment, a dark shadow fell over her, and the whispers of the spirits warned her that she had made a fatal mistake. Ania returned triumphantly to her village, convinced that her sacrifice would bring salvation. At first, everything seemed to improve. The rains returned, the crops began to flourish, and hope was restored to her people. However, soon strange things began to happen. The animals in the forest disappeared without a trace. The trees withered despite the rain, and a strange silence enveloped the village at nightfall. The village elders, fearful, recognized the signs of a curse. Ania, by plucking the flower of death, had broken the balance between the spirits of nature and humans. Desperate, she tried to return the flower, but it was too late. The curse had begun to take its toll. One night, shadows began to move through the village, taking the shape of ghostly hands reaching out to the villagers. One by one, the people began to mysteriously fall ill. No one could stop the spread of the darkness that slowly consumed the village. Desperate, Ania decided to return to the forest in search of a solution. But when she arrived at the spot where she had plucked the flower, she found only an empty, dark void and the presence of spirits that now claimed her. To break the curse, Ania would have to sacrifice what she valued most, her own life. In her final act of redemption, she offered her soul to the spirits, hoping to save her village. Ania disappeared that night, and the next day, the curse was lifted. The shadows retreated, and the villagers began to slowly recover. However, no one ever saw Ania again. Her sacrifice became legend, a warning about the dangers of defying the spirits of nature and the greed of desiring more than fate allows. The flower of death never bloomed again, but its legend lives on in the memory of her people. This story teaches us that not everything that shines is a gift. Sometimes, the most tempting desires hide the greatest dangers. In Naga culture, respect for nature and its mysteries is essential. The legend of the flower of death reminds us that unchecked ambition can have devastating consequences, and that some mysteries are meant to remain untouched. It is said that on dark nights when the moon is hidden, some have heard the whispers of the spirits in the forest where the flower of death once grew. Some believe that Ania's sacrifice prevented an even greater tragedy, while others claim that the curse still lingers, waiting for another fool to dare seek the flower. The legend has served as a warning for the villagers, who now fear venturing into the forest in search of the impossible. If this legend captivated you, and you want to hear more dark stories from Naga folklore, Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. What would you do if you found a magical flower with the power to grant wishes? Let us know in the comments and don't miss our upcoming videos.